Happy holidays. How are you? Are you keeping all right? How was your long weekend? Did you go someplace nice with your significant other? It's always so fascinating. People who love, eh? I was once away on safari and somebody at the airport was asking me why I'm going to such a romantic place by myself. And I was like, because I'm a nice person. I deserve nice things too. My name is Eric, and this is Eric Stories. If you are here for the first time, hi, how are you? I hope you stay. Eric Stories is about you and I. We try to make sense of adult conversations and even taboo subjects, eh? So every weeknight, Monday to Friday, at least Monday to Thursday, for some 10-15 minutes, we talk about random subjects. And then on Friday at 9 p.m., we have a live where you come on and then you share your mind with me. So that's just as simple as how it works. This is our final week on Eric Stories for the year. And God permitting, we are going to resume in January. So I thought it fit to give you time to, enjoy the festivities with your significant other. So I don't bother you with a lot of wahala. And I'll go do the same. And then God, again permitting, we can exchange notes about how that went in January, right? So yeah, so this Friday is our final live of the year. So make a date with me this Friday. And of course, yesterday was a public holiday. So we are on tonight and then tomorrow, Thursday, and then Friday. And then we wrap it all up. How's your week? Did you do something nice? I went to a concert. The Soul Fest was bomb, eh? So I twerked heavily. You wouldn't even recognize me. I was unrecognizable. I was just tutawacha vala tutawezana. All right, so if it's your first time here, feel most welcome. And if you're a single lady who somebody dumped and you're feeling some type of way, I think this should do just to remind you that you're worthy of love and all the beauty that life has awaiting for you. So don't give up just yet. It's their loss, it's not yours. Don't go like, oh my God, what does Jeremy want? Jeremy just didn't want you, but you're worth so much more and a bag of chips. So this should do, right? Shouldn't it? Absolutely. So feel most welcome. I know it's the festivities and we are in a celebratory mood, but for some reason my mind wouldn't just get off these thinking from at least midday today. I was thinking about how, when you dated for a while or you're even married to somebody, life does happen and you get the best of you. And it's not just the pleasant side, you know? Sometimes when we're talking about relationships, we are drawn to the pleasant side, the kids and the birthdays and the good food and the chicken and the baking and nice deep kisses. That's amazing. And they make for a good story. But there's also the other side, which very few of us talk about: illness and death in the family and loss of loved ones. And sometimes not even you too, just your mom's wife, your wife's mom or your mother-in-law passes on, or your father-in-law passes on, or a very important relationship in her or his life ends. And now, they have to grieve the loss of that loved one. And you're there and they are your significant other. And maybe you've never known them in that state. Even they've never known themselves in that state. So what do? I was once in a relationship, and right about when we were getting to maybe 6 months in, my mother passed on. And I remember after burying my mother, and this woman would try to, just get things back to normal and couldn't work. I think maybe 3 months after that, we ended things. So it's always so hard for the person grieving and even more for the person closest to them because they've never seen that side of them. And it's not their fault. They've never practiced losing their mother or their father or their job. So I want us to have a chat about ways you can support your significant other when they are grieving, especially the loss of an important person in their family. Just 2, 3 points, at least from my experience, mostly. If you're thinking of a material to read over these or a subject matter that tackles these in depth, what's her name? Sheryl Sandberg did a phenomenal book called Sheryl Sandberg and Adam Grant. did a phenomenal book called Option B, and they talk about grieving. And of course, she was also talking from a very personal experience after her husband died. And Adam Grant is a social scientist, so he had a lot of scientific research about ways that can help you. So you want to pick that up. But this is mostly from my experience and things I think are important to do. So one of the things I think you could do in a relationship when your significant other is hurting or grieving the loss of their loved one, knowing how to help a partner grieve is key. And one of the ways to know is that there are no set rules. There are no ABCs of how to grieve. There are not normal or abnormal ways to grieve. All right. So you want to let them by giving them room to grieve in ways that are unique to them. There are no right or wrong ways of grieving. All right. So some people may cry, for instance. Others may just sit pensively in the car or in the house or just quiet. All right. So there are no wrong and right ways of grieving the loss of a loved one. So allow them to do that. All right. So it's okay to plainly ask what they need because you don't know, neither do they know. So instead of pestering them with endless texts or phone calls or cuddling them, and they don't need any of that, just ask them, what do you need? What do you feel you need right now? And if they say, I just want to sit by myself quietly for a few hours, permit that. Yeah? Could be that's how they grieve. Second thing I think is important, offer practical help. There's a lot of people when death has happened or any sort of loss, they are very broad in what they say to you. They're like, if you need anything, let me know. That's hard. They are grieving, and some people are very shy. They don't want to impose. All right. So instead of saying, if you need anything, offer practical help. Your partner will appreciate any help that will make them feel less intensity with their grieving. All right. Help them with daily tasks, for instance. If you're close enough, this could be even a close friend. If you're close enough and you know that their kids are picked from school at 3 o'clock, then just text and say, I'm picking the kids from school this week, so don't worry about that. And show up early so they don't have another thing to worry about, right? So if they're picked at 3 o'clock, you're there at least 2:30 or 2:45, and you make arrangements with the teacher and you drop the kids back home. That is going to let off the weight of their shoulder, right? And it will make their grief less intense. Help them with daily tasks that make their lives easier and don't wait for them to ask. Like the example I was given about the kids or even helping around the kitchen. Bring over dinner, for instance, pre-cooked dinner. Shopping, for instance, shopping for them, that would help. Or even with their gardening. If you see that, the grass has really grown, you can take a lawnmower one of the free Saturdays when you're chilling and just cut the grass. All right. Another thing I think I've seen is important that can really help, especially I've seen with friends of mine and even family members. Not everybody is very strong to talk to everyone, and when somebody has passed on, there's an overwhelming empathy and sympathy from far and wide. So you want to maybe a way to practically help if you're a good spokesperson is to offer yourself as a spokesperson. So you can just tell her to do on WhatsApp, message, or even an email and say, I've assigned Lucy to take care of all the communication needs. And then now you can speak. Can you imagine how overwhelming it is? They've lost their dad or their mom and they have to talk to everybody. It's hectic. They're like, what happened? So when exactly did they die? So offer to give that service. All right? It ends up being the ease and taking off, again, more load from their shoulders. Offer to be a spokesperson. All right? And then what do I have here? Finally, avoid potentially hurtful cliches. I mean, you know them. They bore me to death. Another lady I used to work with in television would tell me, don't worry, grass will grow. Grass will grow about my mother. She wasn't grass, first of all, and that is a very insensitive comment. So there are so many go-to statements that people use in terms of laws, and they're very ignorant of how hurtful those statements can be. Right? They're in a better place, for instance. You know about that, right? God works in mysterious ways is another one. Look at the brighter side. Everything happens for a reason. Keep in mind that not everyone finds them comforting because of many becauses. Some people are not religious. All right. Maybe their family doesn't believe in an afterlife or a higher power. All right. Or maybe they do, but still avoid justifying the loved one's death. Because that's what it sounds like. Things happen for a reason. Don't worry, they're in a better place. No, no, no. They don't want to hear that. I know many people don't want to hear that. So it might be coming from a good place, but I've learned it's easier nowadays. I'm learning. It's easier to ask people questions instead of making assumptions about what they would want. What do you want right now? What do you feel like listening to? Would some food be amazing? I brought some favorite rice. It's in the fridge if you want a serving. That helps instead of laddening them with all these things. Anyway, I thought to share that and the importance to be kind to one another, even as we are celebrating, because not everybody is going through a very festive season. I mean, people are dying and life is tough for many others. So extend an olive branch and be nice and be nice. And if you're grieving yourself and you're watching these and somebody has passed on in your family, or your partner's very important person has died, my condolences and all the love. And let's keep talking. Let's keep talking. Let's keep talking. Sindio, have a lovely night.